Good morning. This morning I'm down in Auckland, down in the CBD. We booked into a hotel called Park Hyatt, courtesy of AIA, and thanks to them for bringing us to Auckland. Lovely morning down here. I just had to shoot this video while that boat was going underneath that drawbridge in the viaduct. So yeah, I hope my volume or that you can all hear me well. So please just drop me a message if you can hear me. This is a bit new technology. We're testing again today, and we hope that this internet signal lasts for as long as we are live. This morning, I'm just going to chat a bit about the fact that, or stuff that's happening currently. And I mean, there's a lot of negativity out there today. A lot of people are anxious, a lot of people are angry, a lot of people want to strike and want to do a lot of other things. And all of these, I want to see if that's a message saying they can hear me or not. Just a lot of people just feeling that it's not really the right place for them, New Zealand, anymore. A lot of people think that they can't. Oh, thanks for the sound perfect, says somebody. A lot of people is feeling that they aren't going to make a living here in the long run. And I just thought this morning it's time for me to say something about that. We have been in a fortunate position that we came in with a residence in 2018. We applied in 2016. A lot of you know how we came about to be in New Zealand. And at the end of the day, I can just say that we are totally blessed. If it has been during the circumstances that we are currently in, it could have meant that we would have not been able to come. So that's just one of the things that is on my mind this morning. The other big thing is regarding things like the new rules under immigration. The other night we went live while the minister was talking. We had a bit of a sound problem because I didn't know how that technology worked. So excuse me for that evening. When was it? Thursday evening or something like that, or Monday evening? I can't remember. But anyway, basically he said nothing. That's the weirdest thing. They had this half-an-hour thing on national television, on YouTube, on Facebook, on everywhere else, and he actually said nothing. He actually wasn't even there. That's a joke. He sent another minister in his place to go and have a talk to people whose future is dependent on the fact that they have moved from one country to another country. He actually said nothing. One of the comments from one of the people that was asking him questions, they said, "This is an announcement about an announcement." Now, I know we like to preach doom and gloom because that is what makes the world go around. But I want to say today to you, I think you guys should not lose hope. Do not lose hope that easy. Out on the street, I'm talking to a lot of normal people. I'm also talking to people who came in currently, who came in under the critical care visas. These are guys like doctors, psychologists, nurses. But on the ground, there's a lot of jobs opening up now, a lot of jobs. I'm not saying go and apply. Please do not go and apply because that will probably shoot yourself in the foot. Companies are currently not allowed to even look at your CV if you're from outside and not inside New Zealand. So, sorry. I should have gotten a better glass there. So, currently, there's heaps of jobs opening, and I'm talking about jobs opening in the area of mechanics. These aren't your average type of job. You can't just get somebody from the street and train them for 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and they become a mechanic. Especially diesel mechanics. We've seen that the price that they pay diesel mechanics have gone through the roof. Absolutely gone through the roof. So very soon they will have to make a plan to get these people here. Otherwise, there's a lot of businesses that's not going to make it. There's a lot of businesses that are going to close down. And it's not that we want them to close down. We need these businesses to go on for the sake of the economy. In order for us to have a good economy, you need to have businesses that can compete in all aspects of the economy. And what they're currently they're bringing in people for government use, for critical care, your nurses, your doctors, your psychologists. These are the guys that has an easier pathway to get into New Zealand now. The normal, I would want to say, blue-collar worker, your mechanic, especially diesel mechanics. Goodness me, I can't say that enough. Some areas of truck driving, all of these, forestry, and all of these jobs that are opening up now, they will, one another part along the line, they would have to need to fill this. And I don't care what that minister says. If they don't make it a bit easier for people to come to New Zealand and then get residence as well, why would they come here? Remember, I've been saying this from the very beginning. If you are thinking of coming to New Zealand only to get a high-paid job, you must probably not come here. If that is the only reason why you are thinking of moving to New Zealand, just come and work here for a few years, make a lot of money, probably the wrong place for you. There's better places out there that can, but that will pay you better. I would think about the Arab Emirates, those type of places, Qatar, these places. They all are paying much better than New Zealand. The cost of living is much lower than New Zealand because what you earn here is what you are going to pay to live here. So the savings will always be on the shorter straw there. So if you still want to make South Africa your base and work from there, probably get something on an oil rig. I don't know how available those type of jobs is. Don't come to New Zealand to think you're going to work here for 4 or 5 years and then have a big bag of money to take back to South Africa. It's probably not going to happen. On the other hand, if you are really thinking of moving and getting yourself a better place to live, more stable, then New Zealand's probably up there in the top 5. Currently, I know Canada is also taking people. I know Australia is also taking people in. There is 1 or 2 companies in New Zealand that's recruiting, but they're recruiting for people that work outside of New Zealand. But they're currently only recruiting 4 people in New Zealand to go and work outside of New Zealand. So a bit of a catch-22 situation there. But quality of life, I would suggest Canada, Australia, New Zealand. Quite a few places out there that has got decent quality of life and you can earn a good living there. Few questions coming up. We need mechanics at Toyota, huge shortage at the moment. It's not only Toyota that needs mechanics. I've just heard the story of somebody was offered a managing position somewhere else. So coming from a mechanic, he would have managed a mechanic shop at the new position that was offered. And where he was working, sat him around the table and said, "How much do you want to earn?" And they gave him whatever he asked for. So that was one of the wow moments. If you are a diesel mechanic, you could probably manipulate yourself into a better salary down there. Question about teachers. There's always a shortage of teachers here. For one or another reason, people think it's very hard to be a teacher in New Zealand, and that's therefore the shortage. Shortage in the past was, I think, 800 teachers. I haven't heard the latest figures. Sorry, Matt, figure I quote now from about a year and a half ago. But I doubt if there has arrived 800 teachers in this country to teach the young people. Going forth, it's unclear to us what changes will be under immigration. And let me run this tab so that you can't tell people I'm giving immigration advice. There, I'm a financial advisor. I don't give immigration advice. I had tons of people asking me, geez, a lot of questions. And I'm probably the last guy to ask about immigration advice. But for me, I can tell you that this is a beautiful country and it's worth living here. Just waiting for hubby to finish his heat. Hopefully soon then we can try get over diesel mechanic. I'll probably trade. Yep, they are making it more difficult. And I can understand why they are trying to do this. I can understand why they are putting the bar up there. The big reason behind this is that they want to get a better quality human down here. They want to get a higher educated person down here. But I think they're already losing. They're losing the perspective of you can't employ doctors to come and work as diesel mechanics. You can't get doctors or psychologists or physiotherapists to come and drive lorries, do that type of thing. Sorry about me hampering on on the diesel mechanic side this morning, but I actually know of about 7 different places or 8 different places that has got a massive shortage, a shortage that is severely influencing their ability to perform as they are supposed to perform. So, what the future holds, I don't know. It's a bit of a unfair statement today to think that anybody in New Zealand, except the minister and his cabinet and cronies down there, will know what the future holds for immigrants here and immigrants thinking of coming here. I know a lot of you guys have sold everything up in South Africa and are ready to move over. And sadly, you've been stuck somewhere in the middle. And my heart goes out to you guys. My heart really goes out to you guys. And once again, if you are in New Zealand, you are all alone here and you really just want to speak to somebody, you feel free to reach out to me. If you're female, you can reach out to my wife. We have been talking to 1 or 2 people who have been reaching out to us. And it's not always the easiest thing to reach out and say, yes, I've got a problem, or to say, wow, I just need a bit of other human interaction, but please do that. Mechanics are just as qualified, educated as doctors, just in a different field. I fully agree. Without mechanics, this whole country will grind down to a slow halt. New Zealand makes a lot of money out of exporting trees. Trees are a big thing here. And they talk about tree farming, and this is a very long process. I think one of those trees takes something like 28 years to grow. But in between, every year they've got a lot of trees that they're ready to harvest. So they take these trees out. These goes on massive trucks, and there's tons of things in the diesel world that needs to be kept running just for this to be operational. And as soon as that pinches start coming on, then that will be a big problem for them to going forward. I mean, if you can't run your trucks, how are you going to get those trees to the harbor? There's no other chance about that. So Leon Avalon said, I have a feeling they'll keep the employment assist visa open for now, but to get residence, you would need 106K. That would allow temporary people to enter and allow very high-paid people residency. That could be, but that's also taking a chance. But on the other hand, if they do that, then your lower-paid people, paid lower than 106, will probably say, let's go to a different country where we can get a better salary and work there, and New Zealand will be back in the same problem as that they were in the past. I've been busy with trade as panel beater here in New Zealand. I've passed level 2 in health and well-being. Currently busy with level 3. Need 10 points to apply for residency. Praying that New Zealand will become a forever home. That is the right frame of mind. You must look at New Zealand as your forever home. So, yeah, it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. This morning, they gave me the wrong time to be for breakfast, and when I reached actually, they gave a lot of people the wrong time for breakfast. There were quite a lot of people that arrived at the dining hall this morning, and they said, no, they're only opening at 7 o'clock, which is already past now. And then I decided to take a small walk. I'm right on the harbour front here. If you look out of my window, you can see the Sky Tower. You can see the harbour and yachts parked right in front of my room here. And it was so peaceful out there. Saw a lot of people running, but they weren't running away. They were running for fitness. So it's a concept of New Zealand that you can go in the middle of the night somewhere and not be attacked or intimidated or feel scared at all. So that's quite important, and that's part of why I feel at home here, because I want to take my time or at any time I want to take my telephone or my camera, just go for a walk. And I've done so many beautiful pictures this morning. Actually, I should post them a bit later, so keep looking. I'll post a bit later. But today, if you send me an email, I probably will only answer tonight. It's going to be a very long day. We're in a Congress down here. Or conference, sorry, not a conference. Congress, it sounds like a parliament. Probably a good place to be in today, or a bad place if you are the immigration minister. Yeah. The way forward for New Zealand, I would think, is to start a process where they can get normal workers back in the field. And I know the minister said he hampered on the fact that New Zealanders are going to fill this post. He didn't say how. I can't see that happening. There's just no way that you will get them out there. Even let me say, even jobs that doesn't require a massive education, like kiwi fruit picking now. They had a lot of South Africans doing kiwi fruit picking there. And even my hairdresser went kiwi fruit picking, believe it or not. She went kiwi fruit picking. Presumably the money that they paid weren't that bad. It wasn't crazy work. It was hard work, but you didn't need to think a lot while you are there. And they struggle to even have this filled. Now, sad enough to say, it's not the normal people living here ain't that worried about their future, because they believe if they can't earn a living easy somewhere, the government will supply. And currently, government is supplying. Let's face it, government is supplying. A lot of people on the dole, these people don't get up in the morning and say, oh, let's go kiwi fruit picking because I need some money. Because if they do that, the amount that they earn from the dole just reduces. So that's not a good position for them to be in. Yeah, on the work front, there's a few other positions as well available that I saw the last few the last few weeks coming up, and even places like Queenstown down in the South Island, they are becoming worried. They need a lot of people. I think something like 3,000 people. They would need to be up and running again. And sadly enough, they had to let go a lot of these people. They had to let go heaps of people who were working for them because of COVID. And I do understand you can't keep hotel staff or keep the hotel full of staff and there's no visitors. So it's actually a bad situation they are in, because once they start up and running, and the ski season is around the corner, and the Australians will come over because we are open with them currently on that travel bubble. They will come over, and they will probably only be able to house half of these hotels. The tourism spokesperson or something like that was on television or on radio the other day. Sorry, not television, on radio. And he said that that's a massive concern for them. So they are actually hoping that they can get Australians to work in the hotels to serve the other Australians that are coming to the hotels. But you still got to remember, it's probably easy to learn somebody how to do a bed or so, but now you need barmans, you need waitresses, you need heaps of people, and you need to get them trained in a very, very short period of time, because the season is here now. So how that's going to pan out, I don't know. And I mean, that is what the minister would class as a low-paying job, which he doesn't want and wants to give to Kiwis. Sadly enough, I don't see the Kiwis streaming to Queensland to fill those positions. Then positions around the hospitality industry, positions like hotel manager, these type of things, all positions that will become available now. And I believe once New Zealand has been fully immunized or vaccinated, is that the right word? Vaccinated. Don't shoot me about the previous one. If everybody has been vaccinated, or as they call it, herd immunity, if 70% of the country has been vaccinated, then probably we stand a chance to open our doors to a few more countries, and probably countries that have been vaccinated as well. How they are going to do that, I don't even want to go into there. And I'm not pro or against vaccination. I think that is everybody's own decision. If you decide not to vaccinate, that's your baby. I am going to get vaccinated. I need to travel. I need to see my kids again. So, yeah, but that is my own opinion. And if it's not your opinion, that's fine. I'm not going to try and swing your mind this morning. On the work front, how they are going to go forward, that is a big concern. Especially concern for me is I see a lot of these immigration advisors are now advising people or advertising that they are allowed to get people jobs, and this is not so. There's absolutely very few job opportunities currently in New Zealand, or that are people allowed into. And as I said, it's only critical care. Here's a suggestion. They're talking about hospitality. We went to Spur in Albany, and all the waiters are South African, and the service was amazing. We do it better everyone else. Okay, Albany Spur looks like they've upped their service a bit, so that's not a bad thing. On the job front, in the long run, something has to give, and I believe something has to give. So if I'm in this position to tell you this morning to get all your paperwork ready, and get all your paperwork ready, just wait for your police clearance, because that can easily, that has to be renewed, I think, every 6 months or so. I want to say get your paperwork ready, because somewhere along the line, something has to give. There's just no way. It can't go on like this. So Leon says, my partner took up a job in a pack house at $23 per hour. Kiwis not interested. Seems Kiwis went high in salary with little input. That is what I found as well. Maybe quite strange, but they live in this paradise where if you can't get a high-paying job, you just go on the dole, you sit down at home and watch television the whole day and have a few beers and a few smokes with your friends, and that's that. Talking about hospitality, we went. Oh, sorry, I just read that one already. Matthew offers getting served by a Sapphire in Spurs like being back home. I actually want to say no, Leon. My last remembrances of the Spur in South Africa was that everybody was there from either the Congo or Nigeria that was working in the Spurs back home. So, except if the Spur here has Nigerians and Congolese in there. So that was always what was strange for me in South Africa. Is you go to the Spur, South African brand, you get served by people from other countries. So yeah, anything that or any person that's working with their hands in the long run will be a good asset to New Zealand. And currently, New Zealand just doesn't know that. I'm sad to say that, but I think the average or the general population down here, understands that they need foreigners. They understand that they need foreigners to do the dirtier work that they're not willing to do. And at current, there's not anybody that easier or easily accessible to be able to do that work. So, all right. Is there any other questions or suggestions from anybody out there? I'm running out of time. I think I'll have to stop a bit earlier this morning to start my conference a bit later. So we're getting up at 8 o'clock this morning, and I still need to go and eat. So, all right, guys and girls, thank you very much for listening to me this morning, and don't despair. Keep up your spirits. I know sometimes it's very difficult, especially if you are stuck here and your family is back home. And I know some of you have been stuck here for nearly 2 years. That is hectic. That is really, really hectic. And I can't think myself. I can't put myself in your shoes. I really can't. I've got a heck of a lot of respect for people that have stuck out so far. The nearest I can think to this was back in the day when you went to the army and you were posted out to somewhere very far away that you were not allowed to tell your parents about. And for that period of time, you saw nobody. That could be very much the same as what you guys are going through. But at least they had in the army, they had the thought that at a certain time they would be going home. Here there is no idea of when that will happen. Leon Almanat saying unemployment is at 4.7%. Same time, there's a bunch of people in need of more than 4.7%. Yeah, the unemployment part is only the people that's really unemployed. Sadly enough, that figure doesn't reflect the amount of open positions. And I've just been hit this morning again by another wave of Facebook jobs. I don't know why Facebook chooses these weird jobs for me. Send me a heck of a lot of jobs, all the way from a chef to, oh my goodness. It was quite interesting. I just laughed at what Facebook suggested I should do in the future. So perhaps in my future, I could be the next, what is that guy with a dirty mouth? I could be the next master chef or something like that. You never know. All right, guys, girls, thanks for listening to me this morning. Have a wonderful, blessed morning if you are in New Zealand, and in South Africa. Stay safe. See you all again. Bye-bye.